Well, it's at the end of the year. It's holiday time, but what's right after holiday time? It's your taxes. And we all have to pay taxes, and it always comes due at the end of the year, and you get your tax statement and everything in. And I don't think people really realize the industry in your community, whether you're in a port town, or you're in a refinery town, or you're in a sawmill town, or you're in a town where there's a plant, a coal mine, or whatever. I don't think people really look at the amount of industry that's around them that are paying taxes. If you take the industry away from a community and you lose that big tax base, then the people that are left are going to have to bear that cost, or you're going to have to make your police department get smaller. Your fire department's going to be a lot thinner or worked a lot harder. So I want people to look at what we've done. It's a good system. America's set up, it's a good system. None of us like paying taxes. And I hear some politicians say we should all pay our fair share. I agree with her. We should pay our fair share, but we shouldn't pay a percentage higher than the other person. That only works in the tax circle. When you go to the store and you fill your basket up with groceries and you go up to the counter, if you make $1,000 a week, the groceries might be $200. If you make $10,000 a week, the groceries are going to be $200. It doesn't matter what your salary is, groceries are the same to you. The gas at the pump is the same to you. But our tax situation is always manipulated around that if you happen to make more than somebody else, then you deserve to pay a higher percentage. I believe you need to pay more because you made more. And that's pretty simple. A man makes $1 million, he needs to pay what $1 million tax is if it's 10 or 15 or 20%. But he shouldn't pay 30 or 40 or 50%. So we rely on businesses to pay the bulk of the tax. We rely on individuals to pay that tax also. And we penalize them if they do good. They don't just pay the same percentage, they got to pay a higher percentage. So when you take that refinery away, you take that industry away that's already paying a higher tax anyway, then somebody's going to have to pick that up. Somebody's going to have to pick that shortfall up. That's going to go back onto the community. That's going to be devastating for communities. Unfortunately, we know of some already right now. I won't get into that today because we want to go talk to those people. We want you to hear what they have to say, not what I'm telling you, because again, that's hearsay. Let a man that's worked at a plant for 38 years show you his pink slip. No, and hey, and when did he get it? 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And a couple of weeks after the first of the year, he's unemployed. And guess what? There's another 200 or 300 people that got him too. And there's no remorse except that people are just saying, hey, we can't comply. So that's going to trickle down through that community. That's a sad situation to lose your job because administration don't want what you do anymore. Now, grant you, there's nothing that's foolproof. There's nothing that's so sanitary in construction out here that we don't create a little mess every now and then. But I guarantee you, we've done it pretty good and we've done it better than any other country in the world. And we're going to take that away and sub that out. So we're going to lose that tax base, and guess what? The people that are left in that community are going to pick up that. I don't think anybody thinks about that. We're sitting here and we're thinking, oh boy, I'm going to get an electric car. That's what probably made in Japan. Okay, so we didn't even get those jobs. The batteries and they're going to be made overseas. All this is made overseas and brought to us here for us to choke down and to bear it. If the administration wanted to change course of this country, why not at least do it with American workers? How short-sighted is it? Think about that. What is the end goal here? That you want to change the course of the country. You don't want oil and gas anymore. You want the batteries. You want the wind farms. You want all that. But you're buying it from a foreign country. What a slap in the face to the American people. That is so short-sighted. I don't know how anybody could stand up there and say that I'm going to double down on my policies. I'm going to double down on my policy. And he said, well, we don't have right now. We got more people working. We got more people sitting at the house because they don't want to work because of his policies. You keep giving it away, and the taxpayer, all the money that's given away, That's going to come back to the taxpayers, or it's going to come back to your children and your grandchildren to have to bear that someday. You don't make a debt and it just goes away. I've heard some of the people in Congress say that we can't spend too much money. We'll never run out of money. Now you think about that. Now those are intelligent people. A law degree does not make a president. Common sense, some business sense, and a lot of hard work and doing what's right and doing what's in your heart for this country, that makes a good president. Just because somebody's educated that's not going to make the best president. A person that's had some of the problems that we're talking about today and have overcome them, that's the man or woman you want in office. And it's got their head screwed on straight to help this country, not take this country in just to another direction. Just our children in school. I remember back in the 50s when I first started in school, they had a bell that would ring. And when it rang, we were out for recess or whatever, we all lined up outside orderly. The second bell rang, you walked in and you sat down. And it was we had rules then. We didn't run wild. You shouldn't let the economy run wild. You shouldn't let your industry run wild. You shouldn't let the crime run wild. There is boundaries for everything. But when you take them down and you just go full force in a direction, no matter how much money it takes, how many jobs you lose, and what the devastation is for communities, and you just say we have to bear it, there's something wrong with that thought policy. You have to get away from that. And for some reason, our president won't. He's doubling down on everything he said he would do. He's made your life a lot harder. It's going to get even tougher. Don't think that just because things are going to get green, the Green Deal was supposed to be more about money, more about redistributing the wealth of the world. It wasn't about what they're making it into now. It just got convenient to go that way. It's a better sale to the American people that you're cleaning up the environment, that you're making it safer for them, that you're going to take a lot of this toxic stuff out of the air so we won't get sick. So we let a foreign country make what we were making, and then we'll breathe that tomorrow. We just didn't breathe it today. It'll rain and you'll get that down on you. So you're still going to get that, except you're going to get it at a bigger pace, like I said earlier, because they're not going to do it. They're not running their industry under the restrictions we're running ours. Don't forget your taxes is coming up in January that you have to pay. Don't be late on it because the interest and penalty will kick in. But thank God you've got industry to help you pay it. Or once that goes away, your taxes are going to quadruple. And that's a sad situation. And what I'm going to do over the next couple of years is I'm going to point out to you every time I find something that this administration done that cost this country money or hardship. Not something that might have been that they could have laid on another administration. I want to hone in just on what this administration does. That's my focus. My focus is not who's going to be the next president and who's going to win the next election. My focus is to watch who's there now. That's what you need to keep your eye on. Don't take your eye off of what's leading your country today and be wishing down the road. You better pay attention to what's in front of you now.